Welcome back, Keyforgers. Yes, I have sinned again. It's another sin deck. This is Æmber or Æmber Brend, Grotto, Boar, Untamed Dis and Saurion. A very nice winged archon there, kind of like the ice cream cone, but those huge wings and an owl head. Bottom card coming out. Turning over, we're starting out with Dis. We have Bonesaw, 5 power with a damage enhancement. If a friendly creature was destroyed this turn, Bonesaw enters play ready. Imp Spectre, 2 power. Destroyed, your opponent purges a random card from their hand. Mark of Dis is an action. You get an amber when you play it. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature. If it is not destroyed, its controller must choose that creature's house as their active house on their next turn. Cinder, 6 power, 2 armor with taunt. Reap, destroy a friendly creature. Snoret, 4 power. At the end of your turn, capture 1 amber. Action, move each amber from Snoret to the common supply. A second Snoret. Waking Nightmare is an action. You get an amber when you play it, and it put a capture enhancement in the deck. Play, keys cost +1 amber for each Dis creature in play during your opponent's next turn. And here are the sins. We're starting out with Desire, 3 power, keys cost +4 amber. Reap, forge a key at current cost, reduced by 1 amber for each friendly sin creature. Envy, 3 power elusive. Reap, if there are 2 or more friendly sin creatures, capture all your opponent's amber. Gluttony, 6 power. Play, exalt Gluttony once for each friendly sin creature. Reap, move each amber from friendly creatures to your pool. Such a good effect. Sloth, 5 power. At the end of your turn, if you did not use any creatures this turn, gain 1 amber for each friendly sin creature. And we've got a nice maverick here. We have a Teleporter Chief Tink, 2 power elusive. Action, swap Teleporter Chief Tink with another friendly creature in the battle line. You may use that other creature this turn. And on to Saurion. Axiom of Grisk is an action. Play, ward a creature. Destroy each creature with no amber on it. Gain 2 chains. Cornerstone Octavia, 5 power, 1 armor. Action, capture 2 amber. Defense Initiative is an action. Play, ward a creature. You may exalt that creature. If you exalt it, ward each of its neighbours. Force the Great, 4 power. Your opponent's keys cost +1 amber for each friendly creature with amber on it. Play, you may exalt a friendly creature. Monument to Ludo is an artifact. It has an enhanced amber pip. Action, move 1 amber from a creature to the common supply. If Praefectus Ludo is in your discard pile, move 2 amber from that creature to the common supply. Praefectus Ludo, 5 power. Each other friendly creature gains destroyed. Move each amber from this creature to the common supply. A second Praefectus Ludo, this one with a capture enhancement. Sagittarius Gaze is an action. You get an amber when you play it, and it put a damage enhancement in the deck. Play, exalt a damaged creature. A second Sagittarius Gaze. Spores of Battle is an action. You get an amber when you play it. Play, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. Each creature with amber on it captures 1 amber from its opponent. Curiosaurus is an artifact. Each creature with amber on it gains destroyed. Move 1 amber from this creature to the most powerful enemy creature. Humble is an action. You get an amber when you play it. Play, exhaust a creature. If you do, move 3 amber from that creature to the common supply. And finally on to Untamed. Fandangle, 3 power. While you have 4 amber or more, your non-untamed creatures enter play ready. Flumph, 3 power. Skirmish, fight. Give a beast creature 2 +1 power counters. Ghost Hawk, 2 power. Deploy. Play, you may root with each neighbouring creature 1 at a time. A second Ghost Hawk. Gloriana's Attendant, 1 power. It put 2 amber bonus icons in the deck. Keyfrog, 2 power. Destroyed, forge a key at current cost. Niffleape, 3 power. While Niffleape is attacking, ignore taunt and elusive. Savage Clash is an action. Play, destroy each creature except the most powerful enemy creature and the least powerful friendly creature. Fangtooth Cavern is an artifact. You get an amber when you play it. This one has an enhanced damage pip. At the end of your turn, destroy the least powerful creature. Unoya, I believe that's how it's pronounced. 6 power. It's got an enhanced Amber pip. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Unoya, gain 1 Amber and heal 2 damage from Unoya. Mercy, Malkin Queen, 3 power with Skirmish. After a friendly cat creature enters play, ward it. Fight, ready a friendly beast creature. Sacro Beast, 5 power, 2 armor with Skirmish. And there we have it. Let's have a look at this Sinful deck. Getting straight into the breakdown, there were 24 creatures in this deck, 5 of which were mutants, which is about average for a mass mutation deck, I think. 9 actions, 3 artifacts, and there were 0 upgrades. We had 9 printed amber, 2 of which were enhanced, and we had 1 capture and 2 damage enhancements as well. If we start with amber control, it is predominantly in 2 houses. We'll start first with one of the sins, Desire. That's a key cheat. Keys cost +4, that's both yours and your opponent, that's a passive effect, but it's got a reapability of forge a key at current cost, reduced by 1 for each friendly sin creature. There are 4 sins in the deck. If they are all out on the board at once, we forge a key at normal cost. Another sin, Envy. 3 power elusive, reap if there are 2 or more friendly sin creatures, capture all your opponent's amber. Just like the last deck, absolutely amazing, and yes, we had the gluttony there with it. 6 power, play Exalt Gluttony for each friendly sin creature, and when you reap, you move each amber from friendly creatures, not just sin creatures, all of your friendly creatures to your pool. So those 3 sins, if they're established on the board and you call dis, and your opponent has amber in their pool, or you've captured a lot of amber on your creatures, that's a key. It's a straight key cheat during the turn. Absolutely amazing. In dis, we had Waking Nightmare. Action, put a capture enhancement in the deck. Keys cost +1 amber for each dis creature in play during your opponent's next turn. So you can play it on your turn. It won't affect your ability because it doesn't take effect until your opponent's next turn. We had 2 Snorettes. 4 power with a passive effect at the end of your turn to capture 1 amber from your opponent. Action, move each amber from Snorette to the common supply. Now in this deck, we like capturing amber onto our creatures because we've got that Envy Gluttony combo. The action of move each amber from Snorette to the common supply is just a nice safeguard for us, but we have other safeguards in this deck as well, including the 2 Praefectus Ludo, 1 hit a capture enhancement. Each other friendly creature gains destroyed, move each amber from this creature to the common supply, which is a huge safeguard if we are capturing, and we're going to be, a lot of amber onto our creatures. Curiosaurus, an artifact. Each creature with amber on it gains destroyed. Move 1 amber from this creature to the most powerful enemy creature. I think if you haven't got a Praefectus Ludo or a Gluttony on the board, this can help limit the amount of amber that will go back into your opponent's pool, but I don't think we need it in this deck. I tend to discard it. We have Force the Great, which is going to help increase our opponent's key costs by 1 for each friendly creature with amber on it. And when you play it, you may exalt a friendly creature. Cornerstone Octavia, that nice capture 2 as an action there. 5 power, 1 armor. We have a Monument to Ludo. Move 1 amber from a creature to the common supply. If Praefectus Ludo is in your discard pile, you move 2 amber from that creature. Having 2 Ludos in the deck means that more often than not, we'll be able to use that 2 amber from a creature to the common supply. Now, it does say that we can do it from our opponent's creatures to the common supply, but why would we do that? Probably some very rare circumstances, but we could do, and that's along with Humble as well. Another action, and you exhaust a creature, and if we do exhaust the creature, we move 3 amber from that creature to the common supply. So you can see that we don't mind capturing that amber onto our creatures. 1, it helps with Force the Great. 2, there's a Gluttony possibility, but 3, we have ways of removing it if we don't have Gluttony out or Force the Great for the benefit. And then Spores of Battle. If our opponent is ramping and we have a battle line, this could be huge. Do this on a Saurian turn, next turn call Dis, or possibly Untamed, because we do have ways of doing it a different way. But yeah, our opponent, unlikely to forge a key, and definitely unlikely to forge a key at 6. So controlling this deck, absolutely insane. Anything that was steal, anything that was capture, could potentially be put under expected amber because of envy. In expected amber, we had the sloth, the other sin. 5 power at the end of your turn. If you did not use any creatures this turn, gain 1 amber for each friendly sin creature. Doesn't always work. Most of the time you're going to want to be manipulating your own battle line with this deck. Gluttony can go in there as well because of that Reap ability. And Curious Sora. We had 2 Sagittarius Gaze. Play to exalt a damaged creature. Now usually it's your opponent, so when you take it out we get the amber. But if we're setting up for a big gluttony turn, or we want to improve our Force the Great, we can do it to our creatures as well. We had the Bonesaw. If a friendly creature was destroyed this turn, Bonesaw enters play ready, so you could reap with it. It could be amber generation. And then in Untamed, Unoa, I have no idea how to pronounce that. 6 power, passive effect. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting it, we gain 1 amber and heal 2 damage from it. Now we do have some synergy with cat creatures in this deck as well, but we'll come back to that. We had Fandangle, 3 power. While you have 4 amber or more, your non-untamed creatures enter play ready. If you have Fandangle on the board, you have 4 amber, or you can generate 4 amber, and you're on a dis turn, you can pull off the Envy, Gluttony, Desire combo straight away, because they will enter play ready. If we are on an untamed turn and we have the sins out on the board, we can use them, well, the Reap abilities anyway, by using the deploy ability of Ghost Hawk with the play ability of Reap with each neighbouring creature 1 at a time. So we have out of house options to use that Gluttony Envy combo if it's on the board. Maybe we've been Mark of Dist, which you see right here, and I'll go through in a second, which means we can't play Dist, but we can still activate them on this untamed turn. There was no artifact control. I think if we had a Reclaim by Nature in this deck, it would be epic, but we don't, unfortunately. Creature control's a little bit thin. We had 2 ball clears. We had the Axiom of Grisk, ward a creature, destroy each creature with no amber on it, gain 2 chains. With the amount we capture, we're usually safe when we play this, our opponent not so much. We have a Savage Clash in Untamed. Destroy each creature except the most powerful enemy creature and the least powerful friendly creature. I do like this card in this deck for one particular reason, and that's our Keyfrog, because we do have a Gloriana's Attendant which has less power than Keyfrog, so it will destroy your Keyfrog. And if we don't have Gloriana's Attendant on the board but we have Keyfrog, we could also play Fangtooth Cavern. Yes, it comes with a damage enhancement, but that passive effect of at the end of your turn destroy the least powerful creature. Keyfrogs are 2. There aren't many creatures with a 1, so more often than not this Fangtooth Cavern can be used, especially if it's your turn and you've played the Keyfrog and then you play the Cavern. That's an instant key if you've got the amber. And then in Dis we had Mark of Dis. Also could be included in Disruption. You deal 2 damage to a creature, and if it's not destroyed, its controller must choose that creature's house as their active house on their next turn. Now the good thing about this is you can deal 2 damage to the creature, don't kill it, but then if you kill it again later on in the turn, maybe you wipe their board of creatures from that house, they're calling into a house where they don't have a board set up. So you can almost lock your opponent out for 1 turn. There was no efficiency in the deck. In fact, we had a negative efficiency because of the chains we get with Axiom of Grisk. There was no recursion, so we can't get our sins back once they have been destroyed. We'll have to cycle through our deck, and we don't really have a fast way of doing that. Disruption, we had that Mark of Dis, and then we had that Inspector, 2 power, destroyed effect. Your opponent purges a random card from their hand. We do have ways of killing on our own turn. We have the Cinder, 6 power, 2 armor with taunt, so very good for protecting those sins. Reap, destroy a friendly creature though, but very good to take out our own Inspector. We had Defense Initiative, ward a creature. You may exalt that creature. If you exalt it, ward each of its neighbours. Very nice card to play if Cinder is protecting Gluttony and Envy either side, but also for protecting the amber we're capturing if we're trying to set up for that Gluttony Envy turn. In Untamed, we had the Sacro Beast, 5 power with Skirmish. Could be considered creature control with that Skirmish ability. We had a Niffle-Ape. Ignores Taunt and Elusive. Again, you could consider that creature control along with Flumph. I know I don't like this card because I got wrecked by it, but I'm playing it this time. 3 power with Skirmish, fight, give a beast creature 2+1 power counters. Most of our untamed creatures are beasts, though I wouldn't advise giving it to the Keyfrog. We had the Gloriana's Attendant, which put the 2 Amber enhancements in our deck, and then we had our Maverick, the Teleporter Chief Tink, which looks so cool in Dis. 2 power elusive. As an action, you can swap Teleporter Chief Tink with another friendly creature in the battle line. You may use that other creature this turn. This is an out of turn cheat with Dis. So very handy to use, especially if you want to take out your Keyfrog. You can switch places with your Keyfrog and then use your Keyfrog. Attack with it, it gets destroyed, you forge your key. I like this deck a lot. It has so many options. It came out at a 78 SAS, but it had a lot of synergy. 26 synergy. You will have games where you don't draw things in the right order, and because we don't really have that efficiency to cycle our deck quickly or archive potential cards, it is going to be the luck of the draw. Having that Keyfrog in there, one of the easiest key cheats I believe, apart from maybe Key Charge, means that there is always that threat to your opponent, especially with the number of ways we can take that out. It is a fast deck, it's got a high Amber generation. If you can pull off the Envy Gluttony combo, fantastic. I've had people just scratch games. They're like, yep, I'm not coming back from that. Just be careful if they have any kind of scaling Amber control, Doorstep to Heaven, Too Much to Protect, Effervescent Principles, Submersive Principles. They'll just lower your Amber total. But to be fair, that Amber you've taken from your opponent anyway, so they're really just shooting themselves in the foot and prolonging the game. All that really remains me to say is good luck, have fun, stay sinful.